Alright, so here's just going to be a short little video just showing off some of the stuff in the new project that I'm working on now that episode 3 is done. This is Project Silverfish. It's going to be a sort of like semi-open world stalker-esque immersive sim style game. I've been working on it for about 8 or 9 months alongside the development of Attica episode 3. And what we're sort of doing with this game is it's going to be kind of a like answer to like Zone Patrol, or like a sort of in the vibe of Zone Patrol, but just a bit more like actual mechanics driven. So you see here we have an actual inventory. You can like inspect weapons and everything. You can inspect your character. See the weapons actually attached to like the character. Revolver on their hip there. There's going to be a full armor system as well. You can inspect armor and see like its resistances there in the top right. Inspect your character wearing the armor, of course. Then you're also going to have weapons, which are going to be a bit more realistic and grounded than in Attica. You're going to have more realistically simulated like bullet drop-off and stuff. We actually have like proper like simulation curves, like sort of like graphs telling how the sort of fall off and wind resistance of a bullet works. Some guns even have hollow sights and stuff. It's gonna be a lot more like prop interactivity with like destructible objects. Of course, you'll be able to pick stuff up, and now if you pick up heavy objects, there's like resistance to them. You know, so it feels a bit more grounded. Gonna be plenty of other like sort of prop interactions. You'll be able to loot cabinets and stuff for like supplies and ammo. Some guns will also have alternate like modes, like flashlights and laser sights. You can use C to toggle that. Let's see what else. There will be new artifacts in this game, and unlike in Attica Zone Patrol, where artifacts were kind of like a currency, these will actually have like proper effects. Like some will have passive effects, like this artifact gives you like reduced weapon sway. Some will have more active effects, like this one, when used with ether, can give a time dilation effect. I'll be showing off artifacts later, however, in another video. What else you can do is, so the UI is going to also have things like, you know, be able to split stacks and stuff. You'll be able to take ammo from weapons, all that good stuff. Let's see. Do a little bit of combat. So let's pick up shotgun. So we're still using placeholder voices for a lot of these enemies, but their AI is pretty good so far. It's actually simpler than Attica's. Oh, there is like a Q and E to lean. There's also a stealth system where, you know, the more in shadow you are, the slower you move. That makes you like harder to see. he was actually looking at the last place I was detected. He spotted me, though. Where's this last guy? That's the other thing about the AI, is they will also, like, just straight up hide from you, or like flank you. They have like varying levels of aggression. Actually, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's a 4. Oh, there he is. Here's footsteps. But yeah. Give another demonstration how the AI will fight each other as well. So another important thing about AI is they will remember targets. So while they're in combat, they will pick up on every enemy target that they spot and sort of remember like when they last saw them, where they last saw them. And so when they take out one enemy, they'll start hunting down the next enemy on their list. And then the squad can communicate, you know, when they have spotted new enemies, when they have taken out, you know, all the enemies on their list. We also have a full time of day and weather system, which is really cool. So this does work in real time. I think it's like an hour for our full 24-hour cycle, like represented. And there's even like a Perlin noise controlled weather system. So like it'll start raining and stop raining sort of naturalistically throughout the in-game day. As far as the sort of quasi-open world goes, it's not going to be like a full open world like a sort of Uncharted is. It's going to be more like a Stalker style, where you load between, you know, very large, very non-linear levels, but they're not like full open worlds. And doing this allows for just much better control over level design, much better scalability. I'm able to like actually, you know, put up barriers in levels that allow, you know, for actual level design and not just big open spaces that are just sort of like meandering and kind of useless. But yeah. Let's see. Speaking of meandering and useless. So there'll also be, you know, like health and food items and stuff like that, but there'll also be usable utilities. So you see here, we have 4 weapon slots, you know, your melee, your sidearm, your 2 main weapons, but then you also have 4 utility slots. And utilities are, you know, they can be grenades, they can be things like illumination flares, you know, light up large areas. They can be things like your lighter, which you can use to light things in the environment. And then you can blow out the candle or bring the lantern around with you, like a larger light source. You can just light things on fire. And this hay bell will just burn away slowly over time. You notice it. I'm gonna add a better, like, burning material overlay. Right now it's just sort of dynamically switching through materials, and I think I want a better solution for that. Unreal Engine 5, which I'm using, does have a system for material overlays, so I think that might be a good avenue to explore to make it a more smoother transition. There's also fire proliferation, so if I set one thing on fire, multiple things can start burning. This build that I'm using is a little outdated, so these particle effects are kind of placeholders right now, but you get the effect that I'm going for. And yeah, also, of course, what's an immersive sim without explosives? And of course, your dancing propane tanks, gotta have those. I've carried over, you know, as you can see, like the art style is similar to that of Attica. I've carried over a lot of systems from Attica, like the prop system and like, you know, the various, like a lot of the prop interactions that existed in Attica. But the more I develop the game, the more I start to stray away from like repeating Attica mechanics, and the more I start to like implement a lot of new stuff, because this is an entirely new code base. Like, aside from some assets that did get imported, for the most part, like, this is a new AI that has been developed. This is a new, you know, weapon model. You know, you can like ricochet rounds, and when they ricochet, they switch from like a parabellum drag curve to like the drag curve simulating a like a spinning cube to sort of like represent the deformity of a bullet that ricocheted. You can even ricochet bullets off water, which is something you can do in real life, by the way. Like, that is actually a real thing. Oh yeah, and like campfires to cook food at, which is a nice little touch. I did burn myself though. I have ladders that don't break. Is the trick to that is just have the player use the use key to get on and off a ladder. It's just a better system. Don't at me. Yeah, so you can see there's a bunch of other interesting toys that we have here that I will be showing off later. There's going to be a lot of like variations in guns as well. There's also going to be some more exotic weaponry, though I don't think I have all those in the shop in this build, but here's a little example of something less mundane. There will be a sort of magic system as well. I'll get into that later because we're still developing a lot of that. As well as something we've recently developed that's currently in the editor right now, not in this test build, is we're working on different weapon loads. So you can have like, you know, slugs versus buckshot versus, you know, like incendiary payloads for like your like weapons, so that you can like hold R and switch between ammo types. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, for now, that's all I really wanted to like show off at this moment. There's a lot more that I've been working on. Like, this is just a test map, but I actually have a few real playable levels like in the works right now. So I will be showing those off later as well. I'll have like some gameplay videos, and as I like implement new systems or like start polishing off systems, I'll be like showing short video clips, you know, explaining those as well. But for the time being, this is just my little off-the-cuff presentation of what I've been working on so far. I probably get a Steam page up within a month or two, most likely, because I am trying to get a playable alpha to the public at least sometime this year, sooner than later. The game has actually gotten a fair bit into development because I was working on it alongside Episode 3, like in my downtime when I needed a break from Episode 3 development. But also just all the lessons I learned from working on Attica have translated over into just a much more efficient workflow with Project Silverfish. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff to come. Might even show you what this button does. But until then, that's all I have for now. Talk to you later.